Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Hi, Mike. How's it going?
Good morning. Good morning. Well, at least in California, good morning. Hello,
Yeah,
everybody. Good day. Nice to see everybody.
yeah. I'm excited. Today, uh, I waited for today for a long time. It's we got some exciting things to share.
Yeah,
So, how's your week been?
it's been pretty hectic. We've had a lot going on this week, but I'm finally excited with some of the stuff that we're going to announce tonight. Or today. I'm just really jazzed with all the progress that we've made. Um, it's never fast enough. It,
Yes.
it just seems that way, and whenever you solve like 10 problems, it seems like 20 more pop up, and not problems, but just challenges and
Yeah.
developments and all of these things. But we have such an amazing team. I'm so thrilled with what we have in place. And the Brazil team is doing amazing. Pam is doing amazing. Doc is doing amazing. All the mods, Age. I mean, everybody is working in sync. And there's challenges like everything, but I'm really pleased with the direction that we're going. Yeah.
Yeah. And I must tell you, Thursday is especially energizing for me to spend those couple hours with the artists. We're doing a buying blitz there. It's so much fun. And yesterday, if you guys didn't see it, you should go check it out. I had with my co-host, a 14-year-old teen artist, Anastasia from Vietnam, and Johnny Boy from Canada. So,
Yep.
yeah, it was great. We had a nice buying blitz there, and lots of artworks changing hands. I love it. It brings a sort of energy and excitement that I think a lot of people have missed in the space. So really, really excited about that. And I'm trying a few different things today, including my layout. I also switched up my background. I realized that on all the streams, because it's mirrored, uh, Vitruveo appears backwards. So I put a little extension in my browser to flip that over so it looks right. So it's interesting. So now we can actually read people's names and all that. It's not a mirror image, etc. So it's good. And I,
Very
I
good.
moved my camera around a little bit. So hopefully we'll see how it goes. But yeah, got a ton of stuff to talk about. I think we should just dive right into it.
Let's go.
So let's do this. So guys, welcome all. This is the Vitruveo download. This is season 4, episode 10. It's September 6th, 2024. What we do in the download is review the events of the past week and also tell you what's coming up in the week ahead. Today, I'm joined here with Mike Purdy, who is our COO, and I'm Nick Kalyani, the founder and CEO of Vitruveo. And we're going to do our best to put on a good show for you today. And let's see how it goes. Let's kick things off here with our first update on VUSD. So VUSD is our stablecoin, and last week we successfully launched it, and we airdropped it also. It replaced what we previously had, which was an NFT-based model called collector credits for granting essentially credits to our crypto investors in order to bootstrap the ecosystem. Our goal with VUSD was to make it easy for crypto investors to acquire artworks and really spread the credits among as many creators as possible. We had some friction initially, where we had crypto investors essentially buying their own artwork, etc., defeating the purpose of it. We also had some bad actors outside the ecosystem who were creating fake profiles, etc. So we've taken a lot of measures to address those, but we wanted to have a longer term solution, and VUSD, our stablecoin, is the longer term solution. So what we've done is essentially converted collector credits into VUSD, and the way it works is every crypto investor has been granted VUSD. They are also free to purchase VUSD. So that's the important distinction you need to make between granted and purchased. And what we've done right now is we have essentially imposed some spending limits with this token. It is a token, by the way, as it's not the native currency, right? So there is a spending limit of 550 VUSD per buyer per creator vault. Now, this was a bit higher earlier, but after consultation with the mods, etc., this is the number we've arrived at. So what this means is that if you are holding VUSD for any creator in our ecosystem, you can spend $550 of your granted VUSD on that creator. So let's say it's creator A, you can spend 550. If you have more, you can go to creator B and you can spend 550. Now, there is a caveat to that. The limits may have been decreased by moderators for certain creators. So not all creators are guaranteed 550. It might be less. In addition to the spending limit of 550, there's also a quantity limit. So you can buy a maximum of 3 artworks per buyer per creator vault. And again, that number could be changed. So it's entirely possible that the creator that you are trying to purchase from has a grant limit of 100 VUSD, for example, and 1 artwork, in which case you can only buy 1 artwork from them. And we think that's a very rational approach, because our goal is to ensure that we don't, as a buyer, you don't spend all your VUSD that's granted to you for the purpose of growing the ecosystem on one creator. We don't want that. That is counter to our goals and our objectives. And so we want to make it very fair and make sure that everyone understands this really well. So this is the moderation where the limits are decreased are based upon the evaluation of the moderators and the creator's track record, etc. So how do we communicate this? Well, the store now has a new panel for when you are about to buy it. You're going to see, as you see the sample on the right-hand side of my screen, you're going to see 3 rows. You're going to see usable credits, usable balance, and transaction balance. So usable credits means this is how many credits you may use with that particular artwork, with that particular creator's vault. That automatically factors in the limitations, how much you've already spent with that creator, and all of that. That's your usable credits. So it's entirely possible you have like 5,000 credits, but that one will say 10 or 20 or 50 or 100 or whatever it might be. It would be a lower number. And that's because it's computed that way. The usable balance checks your wallet to see if you have purchased any VUSD. You're free to purchase VUSD as much as you want, and you can do that very easily by just sending Vitru to the VUSD contract. So it looks at the current price of Vitru, and because VUSD is a stable coin, its price is always $1, and it sends you back VUSD. So usable balance is going to indicate how much is in your wallet that is not granted. Now, the two combined should add up to the total fee that's listed in the section above. And if they are, it means that the transaction balance is 0, and the buy artwork button will then be enabled, and you'll be able to buy the artwork. If the transaction balance is not 0, you will not be able to buy that artwork. So it's very simple. The key thing to wrap your brain around is that the limitations are per buyer, per vault. They are not only for a vault, they are not only for a buyer, or they are not across the board. They are per buyer, per vault. So that's an important consideration. Now, the credits that we've issued that basically, I use the term credit and grant interchangeably. They expire on November 30th, 2024. So this is basically a use it or lose it. Now, I've seen comments in the chat, etc., where there are people are like, I'm not going to spend my money on art. I don't want to want to buy, etc. And that's perfectly okay. Those credits will come back, and we'll just allocate them to other buyers later who are interested. Remember, our goal is not about essentially ensuring that every crypto investor has a beautiful, vibrant art gallery, art collection. While that might be the end result, that's not necessarily the goal. The goal is we want crypto investors to use their judgment to really help a lot of these creators get their very first sale on Vitruveo, because that's an important consideration. We want to really bootstrap, get this flywheel going, right? So if you don't use your credits, like I said, that's fine, but then you're not fulfilling the role of those credits. The role of those credits is to be used in order to get creators onboarded and grow Vitruveo. So it might be sort of in software we call it foot gunning, where you essentially shoot yourself in the foot, right? So by just sitting and letting those credits expire, what you're doing is, as a crypto investor, hurting your ability to essentially grow your investment, because ultimately we decided to have the ecosystem participate and help us grow it. And if you're just going to sit on those and let them expire, it's self-defeating. So I would certainly encourage you to do it, but there is no pressure. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. So that's kind of the lay of the land. Mike, you have your finger on the pulse on this issue quite a bit. Do you have any comments you want to make, or any questions you think I should clarify?
No, I think it's pretty straightforward. I think there was a little bit of confusion why we started at 1,000 and then dropped it to 550. And then there are also some restrictions in place for certain artists that are seeing that they're getting restrictions even lower. And we just want to clarify that the purpose of having an adjustable VUSD credit limit is really to protect the ecosystem from transactions that are somewhat, I don't want to say suspicious, but we just want to do our due diligence to make sure that the ecosystem is protected. So sometimes there may be an overreach, or sometimes there may be a restriction in place. Best thing to do if you run into that error is go ahead and reach out to Arco or Didi, our amazing community managers in Discord, and then just let them, ask them, and they might be able to shed some light on that. But if you do run into those issues, that's really what's going on. There might be a specific reason why that limit is being put into place. The other thing that we need to keep in mind, guys, is we need to protect the ecosystem from price inflation. One concern that we have is, let's say 6 months down the road, when artists, let's say historically, are selling artwork for say $40 or something like that on OpenSea or Blur or some other marketplace, they come to Vitruveo, take advantage of the promotion, and then what we see is prices increase to a point where are not really realistic in a normal market. And we want to make sure that in 6 months or 3 months, as the granted VUSD starts to expire or be used up, we don't want the system to crash where the buyers are coming in and saying, wow, this is just not worth this price. So please be mindful of that as you're pricing your artwork. We do want to make sure that we don't run into, just unrealistic numbers. We really do want the ecosystem to have a nice progression, build the creator database, and then we want the creators to stay with us. We don't want them just flip-flopping to the latest, greatest marketplace or blockchain. We really want to build a home for sustainable income, and that's kind of our goal. So I just wanted to double tap on that, Nick.
Yep, and recognize that we are a small team right now. There's a flood of artists coming our way. The moderators don't have a history with the ecosystem necessarily and know artists individually. So it is entirely possible that you're an artist I've collected from personally, and I've met you personally, etc. But you got blocked here. That is nothing personal. It's just part of the process. We communicate back and forth, and we get it unblocked quickly. And our goal is to try and avoid that as much as possible, but we don't mean any disrespect. We want to make sure that an objective process is followed for everybody, that it's not subjective. So if certain boxes are not checked, well, maybe that's the case, but we know you, and so we'll go ahead and unblock you. So it would be very temporary if it does indeed happen, and we try and resolve those as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Also, Nick, on this issue, we have, it's difficult to, obviously we're going through so many different artists and evaluating so much different work. It's very labor intensive. And so if, let's say that there's a vault that gets restricted to say $10 or something like that, it's really meant to be an outreach where the creator can reach out to the team and just say, hey, I've got this restriction in place. What was the cause of that? And sometimes it's just an error. Maybe they uploaded duplicate artwork, or there's some other error that took place. rather than just banning vaults and rather than citing, oh, this is a bad actor or something like that in the space, we put the restriction in place that starts the troubleshooting, and then we can kind of figure that out. So if you do see a restriction in place, if you are a creator or if you've heard of that and there's a restriction in place, don't worry, it's not permanent. It may be permanent, but it's not really designed to be that way. It's really just designed to put a holding pattern to avoid blocking vaults and that sort of thing, and really just starting that conversation to how do we lift that restriction, because there's a red flag that we're seeing, and we want to make sure that that red flag gets addressed, and then we can kind of normalize the vault. So that's the whole spirit of that restriction. So we just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, and I see comments here about people saying $10 is a joke or whatever, but keep in mind that that is a grant restriction. I think it's very important to understand that the grant is from the blockchain in order to purchase it. Selling your art is not a right. You have to earn you have to make your art valuable for someone to spend money on it. It is unrestricted on how much VUSD can be spent on your artwork if it's purchased, right? So we, as the grantors of the VUSD, determine where we want to spend it. And so if we impose the limits, that's, it's not funny or foolish or anything. It's quite simply saying that we have certain concerns and we are unwilling to let our credits be used for that particular creator. But we are in no way, shape, or form saying that that artwork or vault is restricted in any way, because they are free to spend their own money. Anyone is free to spend their own money and buy artwork from there. That's unlimited, no restrictions at all. We're just restricting by grant. So it's important for people to understand that, and it's actually, as Mike said, create the dialogue with us to understand why that restriction is there and get it removed. It's that simple. One thing for crypto buyers, what you can do is you can go to Scope, and there's a new section in Scope called Fackers, and there's a vault component to it. So you can go there and you can enter the vault address of any vault, and you can find out what their limit is. So the way you do that is, let's go to search.vitruveo.xyz and look at any artwork here. Let's pick this one. Yeah, not to pick on anyone specific, but just randomly pick one. And when you go to that one, you will see that they have a consigned to vault address here. So you can just grab that vault address, just copy it from Explorer, and you can paste that in here, and that's gonna tell you what their limitations are. So this here tells me in the first column that this particular vault has a grant limit of 550, the default. It has a count limit of 3. It appears I have purchased one artwork from them because I have used up one, and I used up 255 of my grant there, and I have 0 available in my wallet, and I have other balance available. So this is a good way for you to quickly find out what, if anything, are the constraints for a particular vault. And you can do that for yourself if you're a creator. You can go and put in your own address and see what your particular vault restrictions are. And again, as Mike said, we don't intend for these to be long-term. These will go away. The credits are going to expire by November 30th anyway. So our goal is to make sure that we create a fair system for everybody. And this is the result of it. I think it's working amazingly well. The results are in for the first few days of having the system in. We have had over $125,000 in sales, and the average price has been approximately $220, which is very healthy, very good. Everything is working exactly as planned. Yes, we're going to have a few vaults, a few creators, a few buyers that things are not working right for them. We'll fix things where they need to be fixed, but otherwise everything is working as designed. So we are pleased with the outcome here. All right, let's move on. We'll take some more questions on this later. All right, let's talk a little bit about circulating supply. So we've made many efforts in the past few months in order to gain control of our circulating supply. and make sure that we are well positioned for the next milestone that we are working toward, which is a multiple sex listings, because we have a DEX listing right now, but we want to get on the sexes. And for that, it's very important for us to get control of our circulating supply. So the claim period for the dormant wallets has passed, but there is a 30-day grace period right now. That's what we are in right now. So basically what we've been doing is we've been doing an analysis, ongoing analysis of all our contracts, various staking contracts, etc. And we are making sure that things are locked in the right contracts. We've also reviewed a significant portion of the dormant wallets. Our initial estimates are that the circulating supply, when all the dust settles on this, will be approximately 3 to 3.5 million. It could be more, it could be less. Don't hold me to this number because the analysis is still ongoing. I'm giving you a very rough, sort of high-level guesstimate on it. We will have more detailed numbers, a breakdown available for you next week, but the final numbers will be after the final claim date has passed of November 30th, so that'll be October 1. But all in all, it's looking good. I think everything that we've been working together as a community to achieve has worked. It's working really, really well. So I think this. If we go into public markets with a circulating supply of this number, it's going to be amazing, because it's going to be a very scarce number, and it's going to be great. A scarcity is good. So let's keep our fingers crossed that we can sustain that and just keep on moving forward. Mike, you want to add any color to that?
No, I'm just pumped up.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah,
I mean, that's just crazy for a tier one blockchain. But I think, if anything, it's like, oh my gosh, do we have enough?
Yeah.
So all the efforts that have gone into tackling the circulating supply and getting it down for the OGs, just so that we have a healthy start once we go to SEX and we don't just have a dump, have worked flawlessly, and everybody is going to be fired up, when we go to market, because the opportunity is going to be pretty incredible with price action.
Yes, indeed. All right, moving on. Last week, I hinted of a new explorer. I shared a screenshot, and I'm very pleased to report that Team Brazil has come through some extra hard work, and we have ourselves a brand new test explorer on testnet. So I'm very pleased. This is still, I put Team Explorer. What am I typing here? My goodness. Sorry about that. My bad. Test Explorer. There we go. Sorry about that. It's fat fingered that one. There we go. All right. It is an amazing product, Block Scout. We've got it. I'll tell you, they've added a lot of microservices and made it a little bit challenging to deploy, but I'm very grateful to Nelio and his team for getting this done. So this is now live on testnet, and we'll be working on getting on mainnet. I just want to show you a couple of features here that are really excellent. So of course, for the blockchain, we've got the usual things. We've got transactions, we've got blocks, etc. But notice how fast this thing is. It's incredibly fast. So we got we'll be able to see top accounts, holders, etc. Really, really well. We got interesting charts and graphs here, which I think everyone loves, especially crypto investors love that. And I cannot wait for us to have the same thing for our decks, so we can have charts and graphs, etc. But this is great. These are good insights to have here. I'm not going to go into all the detail here, but what's really cool is that probably a couple of months ago now, I introduced a GraphQL that we had set up our own GraphQL. What's cool about Block Scout is that it's got GraphQL built in. So all the token analysis, all the querying for developers, etc., is built right in, and that's really, really amazing. The API is good. It's also got a REST API, and it allows you to actually test things out in real time using something that most developers are familiar with. It's called Swagger. So you can see, basically, you can query the blockchain directly and then copy the code and use it. So we've got the usual verify contract, etc. I actually wanted to show you something interesting. So if you look at this is Test Explorer looking at a URL, And this is looking at a particular account. Let's actually just hit refresh on this page and see what, this is the old view. Let's see what the new view looks like. Bam. So you put in an account and it's going to give you everything about that account. It's going to give you the tokens, the NFTs, the holdings. So in the sense, the 3 or 4 different views you look at in scope, that's all there in one page for you. You can see in real time all your token acquisitions, transfers, etc. in detail. So I just love this view. It's amazing. It has your balance. And we've got the currency name correctly, etc. So this is going to be a very helpful view for you to have. It will, for all your NFTs, etc. It's going to show you the transaction that you used to acquire that. It's going to give you token IDs, etc. So you don't need to, if you've got NFTs for a particular project and it's not get surfaced in Scope or on Neon Circus or whatever, you don't need to laboriously add that to your wallet anymore. Just go to this particular view. It's the address view, and bam, you'll be able to see everything that's there. All the detailed breakdown is there. It's very smooth, very, very efficient. Now, of course, this is test data. It's we are going to work on deploying it to mainnet. The indexing, in order for us to get to these views, etc., is time pretty. It takes a lot of time. So I have no idea. I have to talk to Nelio and see that if we start, say, Monday, how many days or weeks it is going to take before the entire blockchain is indexed and we are caught up. Once we are caught up, it's real time, so it's fine. But this backlog of what is it, 5 million plus blocks have to be indexed first, and in order to be able to arrive at these views. So this is where we are. We'll do some light touch enhancements on this for colors and etc. But know that there is custom themes already available here directly that you can yourself set. So if you don't like dark mode, which I don't know why someone would, but you can change that yourself also. But we'll introduce themes, etc. But our priority is to just get the thing running first, and then make it pretty, etc. Later. So form follows function. We want to have the functionality done first, and then we'll get to the next step. So I want to congratulate Nelio and team, and thank you. This is amazing. I know it was a lot of work to get this going, but you did it. So thank you. Yep. All right. Let's move on then. Mike, are you excited about this?
I'm super pumped. Yeah, just the speed alone would be amazing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But to have all these the charts and the graphs and just the UI is just so much cleaner, so much nicer. But even if it was just faster, I mean, that would be incredible. But this is just so much more. So when are we targeting to do the launch on this?
Well, like I said, we'll get going right away, but we have no idea when the indexing will be done. So we'll let it crunch away, and when it gets done, it gets done.
Yeah.
This is also backed by our data store, and what Nelio and team are doing is making sure that we've got good disaster recovery on this. So there's good backups, etc. And so that because this is information that is sourced from the blockchain and stored in a database, right? In order to have the speed, otherwise you wouldn't have the speed. And what we want is to avoid any downtime on it. If there's a problem or something, we don't want to have lost that data. So there's good disaster recovery, good load balancing, etc. in place, so that we can really have the speed and response that we want from essentially an enterprise application. And also a mission critical application. I consider Explorer the most mission critical application we have, because it gives us access to everything about the blockchain. So this is great, and I'm very happy about it. And again, thanks to Team Brazil. All right, let's move on. Now, what I like to do is, I know that there are many new creators who join these Friday sessions. So what I've decided is that I'm going to, at the expense, at the cost of boring some people in our community, I'm going to repeat my 10 slides that I present to creators every single time to reinforce some of the messaging that is important for people to understand about Vitruveo. So here goes. It's 10 slides, very simple. But if you're a creator, please pay attention. This is your introduction to Vitruveo. So first, and most important, Vitruveo is not a marketplace. And I say it in jest on Twitter that if you say Vitruveo is a marketplace, I'm unfollowing you and muting you. I'm just kidding. I will not do that. But it's important, guys, to understand that Vitruveo is not a marketplace. We are a blockchain. We are what is called an L1 blockchain, similar to Ethereum, Solana, etc. And our mission is sustainable income for all creators. So it doesn't matter what type of creator you are. We are on a mission to achieve that. Just so you know, if you think about all the blockchains out there, there is no blockchain where creators have a seat at the table in determining the future of the blockchain protocol, what happens, etc. In Vitruveo, you are a first-class citizen. We exist to serve you. We exist to build income for you. But our strategy is to align the incentives for crypto investors and creators, therefore creating a win-win solution for everybody. That's the secret sauce of Vitruveo, is we align the incentives. We are owned by the community. We do not have any institutional investors. Everything here is the ecosystem. So the investors we have are all part of the community. They are active in Discord. You as creators are active in Telegram, and some of you I know also active in Discord. You all own this blockchain. There is no one who's coming down and saying, hey, do this because our corporate structure requires you to do this, or no investor coming and saying, hey, I invested so many millions of dollars, you got to do this. Nothing. We decide what is good, and our decisions are always favoring creators. We want to make sure that, as I said, it's got to be a win-win, right, for the ecosystem, and that's basically how we make our decisions. We are operated by a very small team. We have 6 full-time and 6 part-time. That is a little malleable. We add people part-time here or there for a few hours, but essentially it's a very small team that is achieving all of this. So please be mindful of that when you have a support issue or anything like that. All human beings here, no giant corporate support team or outsourced team in some other country or anything like that. These are all people that are actually part of the community, and they are all stepping up and helping out. Very important. Vitruveo is new and still being developed. You need to set your expectations accordingly. I always like to use the analogy of a baby. Like, we are just baby. We are probably at toddler level right now. Don't expect from us the same characteristics and behaviors and features that you expect from an adult, like a mature blockchain that's been out there for 5 years, 10 years, etc. Right? This is brand new, and we are just finding our footing. Everything is still being developed. As you saw, we are even just now upgrading our block explorer to the newest version, etc. So everything is new. Calibrate your expectations, and you'll be happy. Expect more from us, like we are a mature blockchain, and you will be disappointed. We are for innovative creators who are excited about a new journey for art in Web3. So that innovative creator spirit is really important for us, because we believe that the creators who are coming on board right now, they recognize what Vitruveo brings to the party. We are focused on you, and I think it's going to take a while for every creator to understand and for you to sink in that this is my blockchain. This is not a blockchain on Nick's blockchain. This is my blockchain. When I can get to the point where I see on Twitter people saying, hey, Vitruveo is my blockchain as a creator, I know that we've done our work. We're still getting there, because no one has ever done this for creators before. Creators have never owned a blockchain before. It doesn't exist, but that's what we are. And so if I can get creators to the point where they understand and appreciate that Vitruveo is actually their blockchain, then it'll be great. We are well on our way to our mission at that point. But it is for innovative creators. I use that term because there are creators who are are not looking for innovation. They're looking only for income. And what I want to explicitly say to them is it is not for you. A Vitruveo is not for you right now. It will be for you in 3 to 6 months. But if you need to sell your art right now to make money, to pay your bills, to pay your rent or whatever, Vitruveo is not for you right now. Please come back in 3 to 6 months. We will have more liquidity. We will have the ability for you to convert your sales earned Vitru into whatever other fiat or currency you need to do. But right now, I strongly discourage you from being on Vitruveo if your sole purpose is to sell art and get income. This is not it. But if you want to be part of this journey, of this innovative Web3 art journey that we have created, welcome. But I basically ignore when people post on X like, hey, I can't wrap my Vitru or whatever, because it's not our goal right now. Our goal is to work with you to create the world's best and most amazing platform for creators and art appreciators, with a goal of making income long term. We are not about one quick sale. We are not about 2 quick sales. We are about a sustainable income for years, for your whole life. That's what we are building here. So that takes time. It's not happening overnight. If you want to join the party, if you want to join us and join the journey, you can consign your artworks at studio.vitruveo.xyz. It's very simple. It's very easy. There are no constraints. There is no waiting list, and there is no cost. This is very important to you. Vitruveo has the position that creators never pay anything for our services. We will ultimately have premium services that are optional. If you want to get them, you can get them. But for all the fundamental, basic, foundational stuff, the cost to creators is always going to be $0, right? Now, I see a lot of people pinging me, DMing me, etc., and also members of our community for support. Please do not do that. Be respectful. I consider it highly disrespectful when people in the middle of my GM thread or something and throw a support question in there. Creators, if you're doing that, just know that I always, 100% of the time, mute that and hide that reply. So you're doing yourself a great disservice by asking a support question in an unrelated thread. The proper way to do it is to go to our Telegram channel, greenverse.vitruveo.xyz, and ask your question there. We have community support. Like I said, we don't have a paid huge support team. It's community members helping each other because we are a community-centric blockchain. But please be respectful and don't ask support questions in unrelated information threads, for example. Like, for example, I'll be posting about a buyer blitz or something, and someone will come in with a support question. Don't do that, because you're hurting yourself. I will 100% of the time hide that reply and mute you, so I will never see any future posts from you again. So just be mindful of that. All right, that's my 10 slides for creators. I hope I take every opportunity to do this, because I want to make sure that people who are in our ecosystem right now, creators, are there willingly and mindful of the fact that this is the start of the journey. And we are not yet ready for prime time yet. All right. Mike, you want to add anything to that, or?
Yeah, I just want to double tap on the, we keep saying this is the blockchain, our ethos or our mission is to provide sustainable income for creators. So how is that done? That is not done through transactional sales in search. So if you sell a piece of artwork, absolutely, yes, you can try to wrap it and sell it, but the whole idea behind providing sustainable income is really through the Vitru coin. You have to keep in mind, is a tier 1 blockchain going for 50 cents with a circulating supply of 3.5 million. I mean, Ethereum is somewhere around 200 million, somewhere around that, and that is low. So look at the price of Ethereum. You have to imagine that this is a huge opportunity for creators, rather than just getting $200, $40, $900 from one piece of artwork. By holding on to that Vitru, that, let's say 500 or however many Vitru you're going to get from that sale, bank it and hold on to it and wait for SEC's listing. Wait, for 2 to 5 years, and you'll be blown away at the potential income that you can generate from just that one sale. So not financial advice, but the strategy of creating sustainable income through the blockchain is accumulate as much as you can while the price is 50 cents. You don't have to buy. You can just, sell your artwork and accumulate that Vitru. But our advice is stake it in the creator equity pool when we launch that. Hold on to your Vitru, do some APR staking, accumulate as much as you can, because that's where the sustainable income is going to come. It is not going to come through marketplace transactions. You want to hold on to your Vitru. This is so critical. Imagine when Bitcoin came out, if people just held on to their Bitcoin. That is where the sustainable income is going to come from. So I just want to make sure we double tap on that.
Yeah, thank you for that. All right, next topic here, on point here, road to monetization. I think many people still today believe that Vitruveo is just sort of take the existing NFT marketplace model and plop it into a blockchain and focus on creators. You couldn't be more wrong. We firmly believe that NFTs are not, in fact, the gateway to sustainable income. If I were to estimate, I would say NFTs for creators in the future will be 20 to 25% at the most of their income. And that's being very generous. Sustainable income is going to come by using the same kind of model that has made Silicon Valley very wealthy. It's a monetization model that basically takes all your assets, all your artworks, and for the rest of your life, it's constantly making you money off that every month. NFTs are a one and done thing. Maybe you have a secondary sale or so, but generally they're a one and done thing. And that mindset of artists has to change completely. And we'll do that. We'll educate and we'll help you understand that you should not care too much about individual sales. As Mike said earlier, they are not going to be the way you're going to get wealthy, the way you're going to get a sustainable income. The way that's going to happen is through repeat monetization in small amounts of your artwork, your entire body of artwork for the rest of your life. So I want to share with you today a very, I feel for me personally, a very proud moment, and for the Brazil team, and hats off to pulling it off. But today they are going to, they implemented a feature that is going to give me the ability to show something that I have been waiting for years for someone to do. And we are the first to do it. I'm going to give you a glimpse. This is still very early. We haven't finalized things, but I'm going to give you a glimpse on how we are going to make our mission possible. I call it the road to monetization. All right. But before we go there, I want to tell you a story. And let's start our story with a product that we all know, Google AdWords. So what is the history of Google AdWords? So initially, you could only see ads on Google search. That's how it started very early on in 2000, even earlier than that, 1999. And then in 2005, the Google Display Network was launched. So this was very unique because advertisers could go to Google website and say, okay, I got this kind of website. It's the theme is this. I want ads formatted a certain way. And Google would give them a little bit of code, HTML code to put into their website. They would plug it in, and then that's it. That's all they had to do. Google's code took over from there, and those ads on the websites would always show relevant information. So if it's a website about baskets, you would see ads about baskets and things like that. It was intended to provide people with ads that were highly relevant to what they were viewing on that website. Now, fast forward to today, and Google Ads annual revenue is 175 billion. Of that, the Google Display Network, their product is called AdSense, and their revenue is $31 billion. All right. So that's how much Google makes from people putting this tiny bit of HTML code on their website. It could be a blog, it could be on WordPress, it could be on Squarespace, it could be Wix, it could be Homemade, it could be whatever. The way the website is created is irrelevant. It's putting that little bit of code in there that's relevant. So the way, and this is how Google promotes it today. It's embed a small bit of HTML code on your website. Contextual ads are displayed to site visitors. And when site visitors click on an ad, the site owner makes money. So this is the motivation for site owners to put random ads on their website. Like who wants to put random ads on your website? Well, but if you're going to make a lot of money every time someone clicks on it, that's motivation for you, right? So now let's fast forward to today and think about the possibility of this becoming Vitruveo ArtSense, where it's a similar thing. You embed a small bit of HTML code on your website. Contextual artworks are displayed to site visitors. And when site visitors click on an artwork, they can add it to a stream. So they click it and it starts showing up immediately in their home. They can print it. They can even mint it. And we are going to introduce many, many different pathways to that. But the site owner makes money. But of course, also the creator makes money. Remember, I talked about monetization in small amounts, not in big chunks, not in $500 at a time, but monetize your artwork a few cents at a time in large numbers, in large quantities over time, right? So this is the vision that we are building for. And what I would like to do now is to demonstrate to you how this is going to be possible, all right? So first and foremost, let's go to search.vitruveo.xyz. And I want to show you a cool new feature that we've built. And so this is the normal website. Last week we showed you group by creator. Every week we keep showing you new things. This week we've cleaned up the filters here on the left-hand side. We've improved the search experience. It's a bit faster. But what is really exciting is this new little gear widget that's popped up here on the top right. If you can see it, I'm going to click on it. And what you have here is a series of checkboxes. And guess what those checkboxes do? They create what I call a composable UI, but in plain English, it means you can configure the appearance of search however you want. Let's look at this. I click hide filters, that goes away. Hide order, that goes away. Hide header, that goes away. Hide recently sold, that goes away. Hide page navigation, that goes away. And look what we have now. We've got essentially a plain portfolio website, or it can be anything you want, because remember, these filters can filter this artwork any way you want it. There is absolutely tons of creative ways. I keep emphasizing to all my creators that the metadata is the most important thing for you. If you want to make money, spend time on the metadata when you consign your artwork. If you don't spend time on the metadata, you will not make any money. I guarantee you that. Your income will be zero if you don't spend the required 20 minutes on the metadata. Spend time and make it beautiful, detailed, and lush, all right? But continuing on here, let's hide this, and let's hide the card detail also. And look what we have here. We've just got artworks, just like that. You can now copy the URL, and you can go paste it anywhere you want, on any website you want, and you will instantly get that exact same experience. That's fine to show in a browser, but let's actually try that out live, all right? So here, I have a random website template. I just pulled this off from the internet. It's just, it's got junk data in it. It's not real, but it represents any kind of website we have here. And it turns out that it's got a little portfolio section here. So let's do this. Let me bring up my other screen here. So I'm going to share a code screen momentarily. Let's go and pick that window or that screen. And I believe it's this one here. All right. So this is not how we necessarily will do it. But your web developer, wherever you build your website, whether it's WordPress, etc., we'll give you a little snippet. You'll paste it in. This is brand new. We haven't done any work other than on the website. So forgive me for having to go into a code editor, but I want to show you how this works. So I'm going to paste in a little URL here. You can see it says search.vitruveo.xyz. I'm going to zoom in a bit here so you can see it better. Let's hide this also. But you can see that I put name equals ocean. Name equals ocean simply means I want to filter on the keyword ocean. And other than that, it's just the copied URL. I just copied it from the site. And you can see right now how this site is. And we've got the portfolio section here. So let me go ahead and save my code here, and then let's reload the page here. Oh, you know what? I messed up a little bit. I was not sharing the screen. So let me do that again. 1 second, please. Let me share the right screen for you and show you the portfolio part before I share. Okay, here we go. So the vanilla website I was referring to, I was talking about it, but didn't actually show it to you, is this one right here. I just grabbed this off the internet here. And as you can see, there's a little portfolio section. I'm not going to switch back to my code because you've seen it. But what I am going to do is I'm going to refresh the page here. And boom, look at that. So we've got a website, and we have all the Vitruveo artworks embedded in here. Think about it as a creator. If you've got a portfolio website, put in the Vitruveo thing with your artworks there, and it's live. You have to never update it manually. You consign an artwork, it shows up right away. You have an artwork sold, it shows up right away. You delete an artwork, it shows up right away. But this and this here, right now I put ocean, but we can make it anything we want. We can have the code read it from the website in real time. So if the web page is about something else, maybe it's about peace or something like that. I don't know. Let me change that and then hit reload here, and let's see that artwork. There we go. I put peace as a new keyword, and now the artwork's changed to reflect that. So this is the vision that we are working toward, where we don't sell your artwork from one marketplace. We spread it out among hundreds of thousands, even millions of websites, where we meet art appreciators where they are. So we certainly do not expect that people will necessarily go here and say, oh, I want to buy an NFT of an artwork. That is completely unnatural, and it's not going to happen. But when people see the user experience is going to change here. But when people say that, oh, cool, I can get a beach related thing on a scarf, or on another fashion item, or I can get it printed on a beautiful metallic frame or whatever, or I can stream it. Streaming is going to be the thing. So we imagine a plus symbol here, where you hit plus and a menu pops up and it allows you to different choices. We expect that there will be no financial interaction, whatever, no wallets, nothing. You just click and it's done. It's all implicit. It's all super simple, super easy, and just works. So if you think about how, for example, Apple Pay works, right? You double tap, you show your face, and you're done. You don't sit and enter all kinds of information, etc. That's the ease of use we want. So we want to spread art out to the entire planet, and we want to make it easy for people to acquire art at a level that they have never experienced. And when I say acquire, I mean bring it into their life. I don't mean get NFTs, because I firmly believe that people are not interested in collecting art. That has not happened in 400 years since the Renaissance. It is not going to happen anytime soon, just because we managed to digitize it. If anyone is still thinking that NFTs are the way for the art market to grow in Web3, it's a fantasy. It's already been proven it's not going to work reliably that way. It's going to work through a combination of other sources. I'm not saying NFTs are not going to have their day, but it's going to be very limited. And it's other sources of monetization that are going to grow. And that's where we are going to get to our wealth. So anyway, super excited about this feature. I hope you can try it out right now. It's probably what I would consider a little brittle right now, because it's fresh off, considered an MVP and alpha even. But if you've got a portfolio site right now, you can just go copy this URL, and you'll need to figure out on your site if they allow something called an iframe. In HTML, an iframe is a way to embed one website inside another. So as long as you can do an iframe, you can use this with any website. So we'll create FAQs and easy ways for every major platform. For example, for WordPress, we'll create a plugin. For all major CMSs, content management systems, we'll create a plugin. So you don't even have to think about it. You just click the plugin, and boom, there's a Vitruveo plugin, and you can pull in whatever content you want. and it displays. We'll even have different layouts. So this is not the only layout. We'll be able to enable light mode, dark mode, different layouts, different sizes. We're going to do a whole lot here to make it very, very seamless and easy for you to embed your artwork, etc. Now, by the way, all of these are live. If I click on any of this, guess what happens? Boom, it comes to store right now. That's the experience right now. But as I said, we're going to change it. And by the way, these fees here will reflect the what we call an affiliate. So this website, wherever your art is going to be embedded, we call that an affiliate. An affiliate can set a percentage, whatever they want, and that gets added on to the price of your artwork. So as an artist, you always get 100% of whatever you price your artwork at. We add the curator fee, we add the affiliate fee, there might be a partner network fee, and there's the platform fee. Those all get added on, and those are passed on to the buyer. But that's where we're headed. And like I said, I'm really, really excited because today, in a very tangible way, for the first time, the vision for Vitruveo is coming together. The ability to embed a huge number of artworks on an arbitrary website is something novel and very, very exciting, because it's the first step in a journey to long-term monetization for you, long-term income for you. So
I think this is so important, you guys. This is probably one of the most exciting updates to search, in my opinion. And the reason why is because we've always had the ethos that we want to market for the creators. So if you can imagine galleries around the world on their website that they can do a custom curation of artwork that kind of fits their brand. Let's say that they specialize in photography, or if they specialize in AI artwork, or they specialize in illustrations. They can do their own curation of artists that they want to represent and have this embedded on their website. And they get a commission. The artist is marketed, and it's such a seamless way of marketing artwork. And it is going to be a massive, massive success, or contributing success for search and for this vertical on our blockchain. So it's super exciting.
Yeah. I know there's going to be lots of questions, and I'm happy to take those on. Just remember, guys, that you need to think big on this, right? This is not for 1, 2, 5 websites. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of websites, even millions, having these embedded art sense. And that's where monetization occurs at scale. We are not interested in doing anything at a small scale here. We are only interested in doing things at a global, at a top scale. In other words, we want to totally dominate how art is marketed and how art is sold in the world. And Web3 is our programmable money, is our way to do that. We are really, really excited. All right, let's move on. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things happening next week here. So we've got, I hinted this last time, and we are going to have a new Vitru Suite branding reveal. So we've decided that the current brand is a bit confusing in the marketplace. So we're going to essentially put an umbrella brand for all our products. So Studio, Search, Store, Stream, etc. will have one name, one brand, and they're just going to be features within that brand. I'm very happy, and I think it'll make a lot of the community very happy, that the Vitru staking and unstaking UI will be available in scope. And we are introducing new 1-year, 2-year, and 3-year options for staking also. So this replaces the current options. The current options will not be available anymore. These are new options that will be available. In addition, we have a stretch goal of also making Vitru staking and unstaking active on scope this week. So fingers crossed, we'll be able to hit all these milestones. And finally, the Vibe equity pools are almost done. The contracts are pretty much, I would say, about 98% done. Here, just a little bit of tweaking to do. And so the Vibe equity pools will also be available. So for creators who are making all these sales right now, you'll need to come to scope next week, and you can stake that Vitru. You can put it into an equity pool and start earning, etc. So that's what's coming up next week. Mike, I don't know if you have anything else. Maybe, I don't know. Oh yeah, wait, there is something more. There is something more I wanted to talk about. I thought we were done, but there's something important I wanted to share with you. So as you recollect, uh, with the Vortex project, we had 100,000 NFTs. We've sold 29,000 of those, so roughly 70,000 are there. And what we are trying to do is essentially use those in order to, first of all, build our ecosystem out, and also get capital so that we can get those listings done with the centralized exchanges, etc. And what we would like to do is introduce to you uh, the model that we are going to use in order to achieve that. So let's talk about that. I'm very pleased and very, very happy to introduce you to Veo. Veo is a Vitruveo ecosystem ownership bundle. It's not a token, it's a bundle. Let's talk about it. So this Veo bundle is targeted to people outside our community. So the slides I'm going to show you here are intended for people not in our community. Now, Vitruveo is the blockchain for arts and entertainment. We are community-led, proof of authority, EVM-based L1 protocol with around 380 validators. So our strategic goal for 2024 is to grow our community with a mix of degens, creators, and crypto newcomers. So that's very vital to our success. And our North Star is as a community-led blockchain is inclusivity and participation. We want a diverse community. We want everyone who is excited about art, who wants a role in shaping the future of art, to be part of our community. We've got an excellent community right now. They have supported us through some very tough times to the point we are here now. But now it's our job to branch out, to get people outside the community, to grow our community. And we want that to be very diverse. And this entire model that you're seeing here is catering to that outside community, to bring more people who are degens, who are on other blockchains, etc., to introduce them to Vitruveo and give them the ability to onboard very easily. So in Latin, Veo means to weave together. And that's literally what we want to do. We want to weave together many people from many different ecosystems and welcome them to Vitruveo. So Veo is that solution. Vitruveo ecosystem ownership. We feel that the ownership culture is very important in Web3, right? And we want to further that. If people are going to come on board and just own a coin or a token or something, it doesn't feel like ownership. We want people to feel ownership. And so what we've created is a solution that really grants them that. So the Veo bundle gives you access to all the major Vitruveo coins and tokens with one single buy, and with a very affordable buy, really, really affordable, as you're going to see very shortly. So this is an important for me especially. I want to make sure that everybody, it should not be exclusive to only people who have wealth. It should be accessible to everybody, including existing creators, if they want to have that feeling of ownership. So our ecosystem is very vibrant, and has multiple coins and tokens, and each have a unique purpose. So today I'm going to tell you about each of these 5 in a little bit of detail. So the first one is Vibe. Vibe stands for Vitruveo Income Building Engine. It's an NFT that gives the holder revenue share from the blockchain in perpetuity. It's I would say it's a crown jewel. I think a lot of people in our ecosystem would agree that it's the most valuable token that we have. And really, if you are a holder of that, not only and you are an artist or creator, you not only get money from when you have sales or when you have licensing, but you make it when anybody in the ecosystem makes money, you make money. VUSD is a stable, fungible token for use in Dreamverse. That's what we are calling it right now. We are going to introduce new brand names next week, and we'll update the deck right now. But I have placeholders right now that play on the word verse. But this is our creator ecosystem. Then Vortex is our NFT that gives the holder many benefits in Playverse. Again, it's a placeholder. That name's likely going to change. Our gaming ecosystem. Vitru is our native fungible coin used to pay for gas and all our contract interactions. And finally, last but not least, Vitro is our DEX and Launchpad fungible token used to reward liquidity providers in the ecosystem. So what we want to do with Veo is give you the ability to buy a bundle and essentially get all these 5 tokens. So you can buy with USDC on Ethereum or USDC Pol on Vitruveo in multiples of as little as $5. So $5 is the entry point for Veo. Like I said, I wanted to make it really, really economical and affordable for anybody to come to our ecosystem and be part of it. And so the buy-in is $5, which we feel is a very, very affordable a price point for a lot of people. Here's what the bundle consists of. So, like I said, you have 5 different coins and tokens, and for $5, you get in an equity pool, the general equity pool. You get $5 of VUSD credit for purchasing artworks. You don't get any Vortex tokens at that price point, but you do get some. You get 10 Vitru and you get 15 Vitro. Now, the VUSD credit that you get under this program can only be used for buying art. It has no other purpose. It's for buying art only. And the Vitru that you get, 10% is liquid and immediately in your wallet, and 90% is immediately staked for 1 year at a 15% APR. So this is a staking program we're going to introduce and have the UI for you next week. But let's get to $25 is the point at which you get one of everything. $5 is a good entry point for a taste of most things. Let's look at $50. At $50, you get 1 Vibe, you get $50 in VUSD credit, you get 2 Vortex tokens, you get 100 Vitru, and you get 150 Vitro. So, and this is a linear thing. There are no bonuses. There's no discounts or anything like that. It's completely linear. And as you progress through, you can get as much as you want. The cap is Vortex tokens. We have 70,000 available. When those are gone, Veo has reached its limit and no longer will be available. So the first week of launch, Veo will be available to anyone for buying with USDC on Ethereum. At the same time, for the first 2 weeks, as I said, this is targeting people outside our community right now, but we want to make sure that we recognize and we value folks in our ecosystem. If you would like to get in on Veo, you're more than welcome to. For the first 2 weeks, it will be available for you at a 20% discount. That's just for members of our community with buying at USDC.pol. Again, as a community member, an existing community member, you can completely ignore Veo. We are targeting folks outside the ecosystem because we want to grow our ecosystem. But at the same time, we want to give you a choice. It's always about a choice. If you would like to have the Veo bundle, if, for example, you missed out on Vibe and you want to get Vibe now, this is your last opportunity. It's the last and final opportunity. No more after that because we'll be sold out. So these bundles will be available until the Vortex balance of 70K is depleted. So again, this is our model for growing our ecosystem. It's a very holistic one. We want to make sure that people who are coming in have a taste of everything, and we've created things that are affordable. And again, we've made sure that for our community, they're available at a discount so that you can get in if you want to. Again, it's an optional thing. I've done many X spaces with artists, etc., and I've always used this African proverb, which I want to repeat here. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Growing our ecosystem, making it bigger, making it diverse is vital to our success. And with Veo, that's what we intend to do. You can see this deck at vitru.xyz/Veo. And what I'd like to do now is to show you the calculator that we built so you can quickly look at it and figure out if you're interested in it. So let's go to that calculator. you can click on this link, and it's going to open up here. Now, this is the calculator that's directly linked for everybody, so I'm not going to mess with that. I made a copy of that just before this, so we can change it and not impact everybody. But the calculator is pretty straightforward. It has one green box, and you can put in there in multiples of 5 whatever you wish to buy. If you wish to, you don't have to, like I said. And it gives you the current, on row 4, it gives you the current market prices, and it gives you what's in the Veo bundle. Now, keep in mind that the Veo bundle is an aggregate. So if you look at individual columns here, you might not see a huge difference, but remember, it's one price for all of these, which is huge. So we start off at $5, but like I said, $25 is where things really get exciting. But let's walk through our $5 example first. So you get one Veo bundle. There's we'll start off with no discount, but if you're a community member, you can select 20%. In fact, let's do that. Let's select a 20% discount, and you see that the price goes down. And what we have here is a comparison. So you can see that if you were to buy these things individually, and actually some of them are not available to buy individually, so it's hard to make an apples to apples comparison. But if you were to do it individually, this same amount would cost you $16, giving you an essential profit margin of 300%. So at $5, you would get in on the equity pool, you would get $5 in VUSD credit, you would not get any Vortex, you would get Vitru of 10 Vitru, of which 1 would be liquid and 90% would be auto-staked, and you would get 15 Vitro. And we have a maximum pool of 4.22 million there. So now let's change this to $25, which is when we first have an entry into Vibe. So I'm sorry, I messed that up. It's actually 50. Yeah, sorry. All right. So at $50, you basically are buying 10 Veo bundles. That's when you are able to get into Vibe. You are able to get $50 in VUSD credit, 2 Vortex, 100 Vitru, and 150 Vitro. And like I said, this is completely linear. So whatever amount you want to put, it's just multiplying that and going further. So if you'd like to, please go ahead and try this calculator out. But I want to emphasize again that our goal with Veo is to grow our ecosystem and grow our community. But we want to make sure that we demonstrated to our community members that you are valued. And so that's why we have the discount structure in place that is only available for our community members. So that is Veo. And we expect that we will launch it this weekend. So it could be as early as Sunday. We'll be making an announcement tomorrow about the exact time when it will be available. It might be that we do it in 2 phases. The first phase would be only with USDC.pol, and the next phase would be with USDC on Ethereum and USDC on Base. The reason for the delay is because those funds are bridged, so it's a little more complicated for us to get that implemented. But we are going to launch this weekend. It will most likely be Sunday that we are targeting. So I hope you like Veo. I hope you like the spirit in which it was created. We really want, as sort of the last opportunity for us to get the community to grow and to expand and get the ecosystem really going. We are at the point right now where there's a lot of activity happening. We've got a lot of software built. We've got a lot of products moving. Mike has been working really hard on the Vortex storyline, the roadmap, etc. So things are coming together really well, and I think it's a perfect time for us before we get into the centralized exchanges to grow our community and bring in new folks in here and really show them how exciting Vitruveo is. And I know a lot of creators are coming in here right now. They're just and they missed out on some of the earlier sales and all that. So as I've mentioned previously, we don't expect a creator to ever spend a dime in here, but if you are a creator and an investor, this is certainly an option for you to consider. So that's how we look at it, is you have the option. It is not a requirement at all. All right. So I think that's it. That's it for today. And let's take questions.
Perfect. So Biz Entertainment, one of our awesome mods, says, Nick, can you do a demo on how to purchase USD to Vitru via USD contract for newbies?
All right. Let me try and set that up and do that.
That'll take a bit. Yeah. Do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay.
I'll get that set up.
Okay. Sounds good. Mike, can I make a few suggestions about search? One, a recently viewed page as it keeps going back to the first page. Two, have a favorites page so you can mark likes art. And three, be able to follow artists. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, there's no shortage of features, etc. But everyone has to keep in mind that our priority is in building out the full suite first. So we are focused on building out an MVP product right now. MVP stands for minimum viable product. Every one of these I would consider are essential features for any app. So they're going to come. It's obvious you want to have likes, you want to have clicks, etc. We're going to do all of those, but we have limited resources, we have limited time to achieve our goals, and we have a small team. So what do? Well, we prioritize on those things that are going to maximize our ability to grow our business, basically grow this protocol. And so we focus on MVP features first. Until all the MVP features are done, we are not going to see what I consider icing features. And yes, in some ways they improve the UX. I get that, but form follows function. Like for example, one of the key features that creators have been looking for is editing their existing consignments. And I'm very happy to report that after hearing your feedback, this is what I mean. When we are the creators blockchain, when you tell us this is a priority for you, we change our strategy. So because so many of you have told us that edit is important for you, guess what's happening? Edit is now moved to the top of the list. That's what you're working on. So, but what I mean is our approach to product development is MVP first, and then add the icing. And so, yes, we love all those features and we will implement them.
Yeah, one of the things that we're working on right now is providing a public spreadsheet that shows you what the team is actively working on. It will show what the team is actively working on this week, what we're going to be working on next week, what we're working on this month, and what's on the list of things that we think are great ideas that we want to implement within the protocol. But maybe just we haven't prioritized those for the immediate things that we need to work on. So that will allow the mods to take ideas and insert them on, and then we'll disposition them based on priorities. And at least that way you guys can see an actual roadmap that's not on a GitHub, that's not just posted with target dates or anything like that, but it's a living document that we're using to prioritize our to-do lists on an active basis. So look for that. I'm hoping to have that done this week. So exciting things to come on that. All righty. Robert Wood, great to see you, Robert. Won't that circulating supply jump when we're issued our perk Vitru? Any idea on when that will happen?
So the perks, is this related to validators or general?
I mean, probably both, but I would say he's probably referring to general.
Yeah, in general, the perks is vesting over 2 years. So it's going to take some time before it's fully available anyway. And remember, the perks pool is one where if you claim, you lose all future ones, all future things. So I don't think most people are going to claim. That's why we've kind of been a little slow in implementing that. We will implement that, but it hasn't been a high priority. We'll get it done. But I'm not concerned about the risk of that, because I know that I know that it's gonna. Most people will not claim. They don't want to lose that benefit. It's a huge benefit. If you claim, you lose the rest of it. So yeah.
Perfect. Huddle asks, when unstake button for Vitru APR?
Well, I already the Vitru APR that was due for unstaking was already paid out. So what's left now is the ones that came between, were basically unstakeable between the time we paid that out, which was I don't know, a couple of weeks ago now, and now. And so as we said, that's gonna happen next week. So
and that'll be in scope.
It'll be in scope.
Yeah, not the legacy APR staking out or the airdrop. So good things to come on that. We will have a lot of scope updates that are coming up. Jay the Crypto Man asks, when can we use our boosters?
Yeah, so now that some of the the claims, etc., from locked tokens, etc., are done, we can revert that code because, as you recollect from a few downloads ago, I told us that that contract had reached its code limit, and it was easier for us to comment out the booster part rather than introduce new contracts. So now that the claims, etc., are done, we can reintroduce that. So I will commit to having that done for you before next Friday's download.
Mm-hmm. AA, at Nick, at Mike, I knew from minute one this blockchain would be special. Always believed in your vision, and then you added Mike as if you were collecting infinity stones. Now Vitru art sense blown away. So a compliment. Thank you so much, AA. That means a lot. I appreciate that.
I think, I think people need to understand this, that there's been a lot of thought put into our long-term strategy, and it's a layered approach. It's one where we will gradually roll out all the capabilities, etc. But it's very easy to get caught up in like, oh, it's a blockchain and it's got NFTs, and that's sort of the wrong takeaway for what Vitruveo is. Just look at what we're going to talk to you next week about gaming, etc. If you look at that and you look at the pathways to success we are building on Vitruveo, I think you will see why it's important to stake and hold that Vitru, because a lot of what we are doing is from a first principles perspective, where we are saying, okay, what has gone wrong in Web3? What has been experimented with? What has gone wrong? And how can we make it better? And that's where we're not interested in duplicating what everyone else has done, because there's no point in that. There's no success in that. What we want to do is leapfrog them multiple times over and create something that is hugely innovative and hugely successful. So thank you for the feedback. Appreciate that.
Really nice. Let's see. At Nick, at Mike, on a Binance Live or any other interview catered to blockchain investors, will you go into this depth with all these features? Also, do investors see this, or are they concerned with circulating supply?
Well, it depends on which investors we're talking about. If you're talking about crypto investors, then we are working on an updated deck that gives a bird's eye view of the whole thing. And yes, it does give details of our tokenomics, etc. So we don't expect crypto investors to spend hours, understanding our business. So it's up to us to give them that elevator pitch, and then maybe give them the 15-minute detailed version of it, so they can make an educated decision on whether to buy in or not. And remember, the buy-in is pretty small; it's $5, right? So it should be the information that's presented should be commensurate with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the second part of that with the VCs are concerned with a few things. VCs are concerned with circulating supply, token allocation, tokenomics, the over perceived value in the market as a whole. They're interested in what kind of traction we have in terms of community growth, in terms of social media growth. What are our numbers? What's our volume? And then you kind of get into the minutia, like contract audits and those sort of things. What, are we listed on a SEX? That sort of thing. But every VC is a little bit different. You have private investors, that like to put seed money and where there's token allocations, and then you have corporate VCs or groups, equity groups, that sort of thing. And those can be a little more complex. They have boards. They have, it's much more complicated. So we have a very, very big list to tackle, and the messaging that Nick has always put forth and that we continue to put forth is we want to make sure that the product is compelling. We're not just a coin that we're going to market on the SEX and hope that it pumps and then everything dumps and then it just falls apart, because there's no real utility in that. What we're trying to put, stabilize is the utility behind Vitruveo. And really come out with those two verticals, which is the art vertical and the gaming vertical. And then once we've got a very, very strong foundation and then a core product line and two very valuable value propositions, then we've got the community. We have the community or the creator onboarding. We have gamers. We have all of these different forms of traction. A low circulating supply. It is a slam dunk. It is a no-brainer. So we do have a lot to look forward in the next 60 to 90 days. So thank you for that question. That's really good. Just another compliment to Nick. Anyone wants to know how lucky we are to have Nick and the team should be in any other blockchain at a similar stage. Weekly YouTube updates, great vision, great team, great product, true blessing. Thank you so much, AA.
Appreciate it.
The vision of Vitruveo is coming alive, Forever Sammy Arts. Yes. Rohan, will current Vitru staking ongoing via airdrop site run their course and then we unstake and then we use the new staking options?
Yeah, basically, we have to remove the staking option from the airdrop site. But even if you try it right now, it will fail. Everything has already been converted over. All your stake information has been converted over to a new core stake contract, and that is what will light up in scope next week. And whatever stakes you have, whatever block number they are supposed to be able to unstake at, you'll be able to unstake at that point. And if you want to stake right now, you would be able to essentially create a new stake for 1, 2, or 3 years. That's basically the model. So yes, exactly as you described, everything will be in scope this coming week with the stake thing. The exports have already been done, and all the stakes are now sitting in a different contract.
Yeah. Okay. When can we use boosters, Nick? I think we covered that.
Yeah. I can do the demo now. I'm ready for the MetaMask.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, but also it's important, even as I do this demo, to recognize that this is just a temporary thing. We will have a page for it. The reason that page is not up is because we don't want to just add Vitru there. We want to be able to add any cryptocurrency. You can buy VUSD with other cryptocurrencies, and as we announced previously, the funds from that essentially flow into liquidity into the DEX. So that's taking a little bit of time to do. But anyway, here's how you go about it. So let's say you're starting from scratch. I have 96 Vitru in here. My first step is to go to scope and go to information and go to smart contracts. All right. And then I copy this address here, the VUSD address. I copy that. All right. And now what I want to do is I want to send Vitru. So let's say that I come up on here, I paste that address that I just copied. MetaMask is going to give me a warning, and I say I understand, and I put in whatever Vitru I want. So let's say I do 25, or let's do a little larger number so we can see that. So I do 50 Vitru, and I say continue, and it's gonna say, okay, now keep in mind I'm sending money to a contract, not to a user account, but the process is just the same. I hit confirm, and that interaction is pending, and within 5 seconds it will be done. So we wait, and sometimes actually the transaction's already done, but MetaMask hasn't updated. And if you hit reload, there we go, it's done. All right, so now if you go to tokens, you clearly see that I have lost my 50 Vitru that I sent, but I don't have VUSD. Well, I do have it. I just don't have it showing up in MetaMask. The way to do that is to click import and paste that exact same token address. That's what you had. And it immediately recognizes that it's VUSD. You click next, you click import, and there. I got, at the current prevailing price, which is probably 56 cents or something like that, I got 27.5 VUSD for my 50 Vitru, and that's it. It's as simple as that. And so now I can go into scope, and look at. I need to get a vault address here, so let me go and grab a vault address from someone. Let's grab this one here. This is the vault address here on the store page. This is completely optional. I'm just doing it to show you how it gives you the ability to look at the VUSD balance. So you can see now that it recognizes that I have 59 aggregate. Well, actually, I'm looking at the wrong account here, but you get the idea here. It recognizes what I have as a grant, and that's it. But yeah, it's very simple. The key is to get the right contract address, and you do that in scope from smart contracts. You always look at smart contracts here to get the right addresses.
Please make sure you're on the right contract address.
Yeah, yeah. We'll put up a page quickly because I know it's easy to make mistakes on that, and we don't want that. So yeah.
Yeah, super important. I think all of us have. You'll do it at least one time in your crypto career where you'll send crypto to a contract address and it's gone,
or to the wrong address.
To the wrong. Well, that's what I meant. Yeah,
just or to a null address.
Yeah. That's painful. Okay, great. Aris, great to see you. Can you switch your Vitru for VO? No, I don't think so.
No, it's USDC and USDC.pol. Yeah.
The whole point is to bring in new money to the chain, not just circulate, existing funds. We really want to bring in new money. Hi, Nick and Mike. Thanks for the great work. Any update on the DEX stake Vitro?
Yeah, so I put as a stretch goal to have the Vitro staking also up. So we are going to do the same thing. We're going to migrate it all to a new contract and have new terms for you. We'll probably do the exact same thing, 1, 2, and 3 year terms.
Yeah. And then we still have the, there's still some previous things that we have to make whole. So don't worry, guys, that's on our list. We're just cranking through that. SHS, is poet incentive still a thing?
Yeah, we just don't have the bandwidth to really deal with that right now. So my commitment is that when we have a marketing associate, which means after we have some capital, we will rejuvenate Poet because I believe it is a very strong product. It's just that with all the things we have going on right now, again, we are focusing on our priorities to grow the ecosystem, and Poet will move the needle, but not enough for us to make it a priority right now.
Yep. At Mike, aside staking my Vitru, what else can I do with it at the moment? It's a great question. I mean, honestly, the best thing that you can do is accumulate. And that would be through APR, that would be through Vibe, the general equity pool, that would be keeping it in your wallet and hold on to it. You don't necessarily need to do anything with it right now. The best thing that you can do is accumulate while the price is 50 cents. Not financial advice, but that's my personal strategy, is to accumulate as much as I can, hold on to it, not sell any. I don't know why anybody would want to sell a tier 1 blockchain at 50 cents before launch. That makes zero sense. If you do a little research on blockchains while they're being developed, the first, let's say, 2 years are super important. And just go through all the tier 1 blockchains, go to CoinMarketCap, pull them up, go to the all-time chart, just look at them and just look what they've done. And, past performance doesn't guarantee future results, but there is math involved. And when you determine the market caps or the market cap, you look at the circulating supply, you can kind of estimate or ballpark pricing, but it does take some time to get the volume up, does take some time to get projects on board. It does take time for our core native projects, to grow. But the bottom line, the thing that's consistent with all of that is when these tier 1 blockchains launched, the price was dirt cheap. And those that really held on to it and treated it like a retirement account or more of just a long-term hold, those are the ones that really profited, as opposed to the people selling, at 50 cents or $1 or even $10.
Yeah, Mike, starting next week, they will have the option to use that in an equity pool and
Mm-hmm.
also so stake. But
Yeah.
today, I mean, I know artists like to spend a little bit of their money buying each other's work. So if you've got that, is certainly a possibility. You would go and do what I just did. You would then have some VUSD, and you can go buy some of their artwork. But I think holding is probably the best strategy because rebasing will be coming soon. That is on the agenda here to activate rebasing at a low transaction volume of 10,000 per day. So that means we will start having compound interest on whatever Vitru you have in your wallet very
Yeah.
soon.
One thing we did do, just to make an announcement to the community, is I know that there's been a lot of previous promotions that we've launched, and things have become a little convoluted. And then with the introduction of Vibe, things have, kind of been brought together, and some of those legacy promotions were absorbed into Vibe, and some of them are still standing, like perks and that sort of thing. So what we're developing is kind of we'll probably cover this on a future download. Maybe, I don't know if we can get it done next week, but we do want to come up with an active, hey guys, these promotions have been deprecated or absorbed into Vibe, and these ones are still outstanding. And that way it just clears up a lot of the old questions that we have on some of the old promotions. So that's going to be coming very soon. Okay. Did I cover that one? Can we see a copy link for sharing on X when clicking on art to go next page? Did you get that, Nick? A copy link for sharing.
This is one of those icing features.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
will probably get them built someday, but not today.
Great. When can we submit our Vortex challenge work? So great question. I would say maybe a couple weeks is probably what I would say, but that's kind of to be determined. There's still quite a bit of stuff that we have to do for that. Nick, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think we've got the lore to publicize to the community, etc. And I think we stay firm on the original challenge requirements. They're still good, but I want to make sure that we don't put the cart before the horse. We want to make sure that the narrative for Vortex, the tokenomics, etc., is all announced before we go forth. We know a lot of artists have put a lot of work into it, and that is not wasted at all. We are going to have that challenge. In fact, we might up the benefits a little bit as a thank you for being patient with us.
Yeah. Paul asks, when will there be a buy page for outside investors to purchase VUSD without sending Vitru to a contract address? Great question.
I already answered that. Basically, we are integrating other crypto purchases also, and once that's done, you'll get it. Don't have a date for that.
Soon. Any news on Dex Screener or CoinGecko listing? We're kind of in a holding pattern there. We've submitted everything. We're just kind of waiting for our time in the line. It's like literally waiting at the DMV, and you're just waiting. So it's super frustrating, but we are in line, and everything's been submitted. Mike, is there any information about Vibe per $10 Vitru purchase yet? I think he's referring to, Nick, is he referring to the Dex promotion, or is that this one, the one that was deprecated?
It's the Dex promotion, and we reshaped that one.
Yeah.
There will be adequate Vibe for that. So whatever we are announcing, we have taken into account all the existing promotions.
Yeah. Apricot asks, can you tell us a little bit more about the marketing part? Are you already reaching out to influencers, hotels, airports, galleries, etc.?
100% no, because the worst way to kill a product is to prematurely go and try and get your customers. So we would selectively go with invited beta or private alpha, but we're not about to go with a vaporware product. We have to have something tangible.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because it's still in development. So when you start marketing an incomplete pitch, it's a really weak pitch, and you can put out feelers, but the best thing to do is to put together a group, kind of a beta group, and then while we're working on alpha, and then with that beta group, you then, they're your test group, and then you feel things out, and what that does is perfects your pitch. So that way, otherwise you end up burning a lot of really, you burn your VCs, you burn your galleries, you burn just a lot of people because you're marketing something that's not yet developed. However, the preliminary marketing is being done in terms of the marketing strategy, the marketing plan. We did talk with a couple of influencers for the gaming portion to put some feelers out there, but those influencers are close to us. They're in our network, and I'm talking about a gaming influencer, not a Vitru influencer. So we're building our contacts for that, and bringing them on potentially as a consultant for the game as well, while that's in alpha. Okay. DYI Dad, just a public service announcement. Be careful when you're sending your Vitru to the contract address. You just want to make sure that you copy the right contract address, and you definitely want to make sure you've got the right contract address.
Maybe what I should do is not wait until we have all the other currencies. I'll just add a page in Scope right now where you can easily do that. Might be better. I think it might be safer. So it's fairly easy to do. So might do that.
Okay. And let's see. Yep, the dex buys, don't worry. I'm not going to post that one. We already kind of covered that. And let's end on a compliment. Nick, you're the best CEO that keeps giving. Thank you, Mike, Pam, and the rest of the team.
I appreciate this. I'm here to serve you, and I want to make sure that we can achieve our mission. I want to make sure that we don't commit to things that we can't deliver on, and for the things we do commit, we do it at a very high level. We do it the high quality, and ultimately we are building a blockchain of trust. And so, our values matter. We are creating an ecosystem here of aligned values where we know what the stakes are. We want to make sure that creators can have a sustainable income. And I'm committed to staying the course and making sure that we can get all this done. Now, I know it's impossible to make everyone happy because everyone wants everything all at once. But every single hour of every single day is us saying, okay, if you're going to do this, what do we not do? That's the challenge. And so when I see the when questions, that question is the one that makes my brain slightly fried whenever I see a when question, because my inclination is to tell them, okay, here's a list of all the things that have to get done. What do I not do in order to get done whatever it is that you want done? Because the resources are not infinite. The time is not infinite. How do we get it done? But I appreciate it. I'll do my best. All I can commit to is always doing my best and working hard for the community.
Yeah. And that spreadsheet that we're going to put out that shows you what the team is actively working on will really help you, because a lot of times you just have, everybody's got their own priorities, and you've got things that are important or ideas. And sometimes these questions get redundant because we have a large community, and going through Discord to try to stay updated, going through 2-hour AMAs sometimes can be really frustrating, and because you're trying to extract a very specific piece of information. So having one source that you can go to just to see what the team's working on, I think will be really helpful. So we'll try to get that launched this week. But aside from that, thank you so much, everybody. We super appreciate everybody being here today. I know it's an hour and 45 minutes. It's a long AMA, but you shouldn't be surprised by that. A lot of updates, a lot of exciting things. Nick, thanks again for all your hard work this week. And we will see you guys in Discord. Please join us. If we didn't cover your question, please join us in Discord. We're more than happy to, the community managers and the mods are more than happy to answer questions, as well as the community. We have an amazing community. Creators, thank you so much. Please reach out to Pam or Doc Martin if you guys have any questions from the creator standpoint. And thank you again. And next Friday, please join us. We'll have another download for you guys. Nick, any other comments you want to close out with?
Dream on, dream big.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great week.
See ya.